For nearly 2 years, one of the greatest sprinters in history seemed to vanish from the sport. No major international races. No appearances for Jamaica. No championship moments. Just silence. Many fans believed the story was over. After all, injuries have ended the careers of countless elite athletes before. And when Elaine Thompson-Herah suffered a serious Achilles injury in 2024, plenty of people assumed she would never return to the level that made her one of the most dominant women in track and field history. But last month, everything changed. At the World Athletics Relays in Gaborone, Botswana, Thompson-Herah stepped back onto the international stage for the first time in almost 2 years. And she didn't just come back to participate. She came back to win, running the anchor leg for Jamaica's women's 4x100-meter relay team. She helped secure a gold medal and immediately reminded the world why her name still carries so much weight in sprinting. What made the moment even more impressive was her reaction afterward. There were no wild celebrations or emotional speeches. Instead, she described the victory as part of her building process. For her competitors, those words should be a warning, because Elaine Thompson-Herah isn't treating this comeback like a farewell tour. She's treating it like the beginning of something new. To understand why this return matters so much, you have to remember exactly who we're talking about. Over the past decade, Thompson-Herah has built a resume that very few athletes can match. She is a 5-time Olympic gold medalist and one of the most accomplished female sprinters the sport has ever seen. Her greatest achievements came on the Olympic stage. In Rio 2016, she captured gold in both the 100 meters and the 200 meters. Most athletes would spend an entire career trying to achieve that. Then she did it again. At the Tokyo Olympics, Thompson-Herah defended both titles, becoming the first woman in history to win the Olympic 100-meter and 200-meter double at consecutive games. She wasn't just winning races. She was making history. In Tokyo, she ran an Olympic record of 10.61 seconds in the 100 meters before claiming another gold medal in the 200 meters. She later helped Jamaica win relay gold, completing one of the greatest Olympic performances ever produced by a sprinter. For a time, it seemed like she could do no wrong. Then came the injury. An Achilles injury is one of the most feared setbacks in sports, especially for a sprinter. Every step, every acceleration, every explosive movement depends on that part of the body functioning perfectly. Many athletes never fully recover. Some lose their speed. Others lose their confidence. Some disappear from elite competition forever. When Thompson-Herah suffered her injury in 2024, the timing couldn't have been worse. The Paris Olympic cycle was approaching, and suddenly everything she had worked toward was put on hold. Instead of competing for medals, she was forced into rehabilitation. Instead of racing, she was rebuilding. For months, questions surrounded her future. Would she return? Could she still compete with the fastest women in the world? Was her era finally over? The World Relays provided the first real answer. And the answer was clear. Elaine Thompson-Herah is not finished. In fact, Jamaica's performance in Botswana suggested that the country may once again be preparing for another period of dominance. Throughout the championship, Jamaican relay teams looked strong. The nation once again showed why it remains one of the greatest sprinting powers on the planet. But Thompson-Herah's return became the headline everyone was talking about. At the same time, the United States experienced a disappointing weekend in the women's relay competition. While the American men managed to secure gold, the women's team failed to reach the final. That contrast immediately sparked conversation across the track and field world. On one side stood Jamaica, celebrating gold and welcoming back one of the greatest sprinters of all time. On the other stood Team USA, searching for answers after an early exit. And that is what makes Thompson-Herah's comeback so important. Women's sprinting is entering a fascinating new chapter. The United States still has incredible talent. Athletes like Sha'Carri Richardson, Gabby Thomas, and Melissa Jefferson give America enough speed to challenge anyone. But Jamaica now has something it lacked during Thompson-Herah's absence. It has one of its greatest champions back in the lineup. Perhaps the most dangerous part of all is that Thompson-Herah herself admits she is still rebuilding. She has spoken about being patient and carefully managing her body after such a long recovery. In other words, this may not even be the best version of Elaine Thompson-Herah. And if that's true, the rest of the sprinting world has every reason to be concerned. Because history has already shown what happens when she reaches peak form. She wins Olympic titles. She breaks records. and she changes the balance of power in women's sprinting. For now, one thing is certain. After nearly 2 years away from the spotlight, Elaine Thompson-Herah has returned. She is healthy enough to win, motivated enough to keep improving, and experienced enough to know exactly what it takes to perform on the biggest stages. Many people thought her story was over. Gaborone proved otherwise. The comeback is real, and the next chapter may be one of the most interesting of her entire career.